Digital audio-visual resources transformed from self-learning modules. Project Archimedes, Aklanon-based resources for children's mathematics education and development strategies. Produced and presented by the mathematics teachers of the school's division of Aklan for easier and better understanding of the lessons. Welcome to Mathematics 5, Quarter 1, Week 5, Lesson 1B. Adds and subtracts fractions and mixed fractions with regrouping. Before we continue to practice adding and subtracting fractions, let's take these reminders and review. We can directly add or subtract fractions if and only if they are similar. Like 1/7 plus 3/7 equals 4/7. The sevens are the same. 5/8 minus 2/8 equals 3/8. The 8s are the same. For 3/5 minus 1/3 and 3/8 plus 1/4, we cannot directly subtract or add. Because in this case, we have to find the least common denominator or LCD of the given fractions. And your final answer should always be in lowest form. Let's do more on page 63 application. 1 2/3 plus 1 4/5 equals n. First, check the denominators. We have 3 and 5. They are dissimilar. Let us make them similar. How? Find the least common multiple or LCM of 3 and 5. Since 3 and 5 do not have common factor, we can use these numbers to find the LCD or the least common denominator for the given fractions. 3 times 5 equals 15. We write the equivalent forms before we add. Then, 1 2/3, we copy only the whole number 1. Then, we write the LCD or the least common denominator 15. We follow again the steps in finding the numerator for the equivalent form. 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Times 2 equals 10. Therefore, 1 2/3 is equal to 1 10/15. For 1 4/5, we copy the whole number 1. We write the LCD, 15. Then we divide the denominators. 15 divided by 5 equals 3. Times 4 equals 12. So, 1 4/5 is equal to 1 12/15. Now that we have 15 as our common denominator, we can add the fractions, starting with the whole number column. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Then, for the fractional column, we add first the numerators, 10 and 12, equals 22. And then, we copy the common denominator, 15. 2 and 22/15 or 3 and 7/15. Why? 2 and 22/15 is not yet in its simplified form because 22 is greater than 15. This is improper fraction. So we regroup 22/15 into 15/15 and 7/15. Then, the whole number 1 is from 15/15. We add the whole numbers 2 and 1, that becomes 3. And then we copy 7/15. That's why our final answer for 1 2/3 plus 1 4/5 is equal to 3 7/15. Let's take another example on page 73, Explore. 6 1/2 minus 1 9/10 equals n. First, check denominators. We have 2 and 10. They are dissimilar. Let's make them similar. How? Using least common multiple or LCM of 2 and 10. For 2 and 10, we can divide them by 2. 2 divided by 2 equals 1. 10 divided by 2 equals 5. 1 and 5 do not have common factor left. Therefore, we can use them as our LCD or least common denominator. We multiply all the numbers outside the division sign. 2 times 1 times 5 equals 10. Then, we write the equivalent forms of 6 1/2 and 1 9/10 before we subtract. For 6 1/2, we copy the whole number 6 and then we write the LCD 10. To get the numerator, 10 divided by 2 equals 5 times 1 is equal to 5. Therefore, 6 1/2 is equal to 6 5/10. For 1 9/10, we copy the whole number 1. We write the LCD 10. If you have noticed, the denominators are the same, but we will continue the process or the step in finding the numerator. Let's divide the denominators 10, so that is equal to 1, times the numerator 9, so 1 times 9 equals 9. Take a look at the given fractions. 1 and 9/10 is equal to 1 and 9/10 obviously. Now that we have similar fractions, we can subtract. However, 9 cannot be subtracted from 5. So what we will do is, we regroup 6 and 5/10. 6 and 5/10 becomes 5 plus 1 plus 5/10. Then we regroup again 10/10, which comes from a whole number 1 plus 5/10, which gives us 5 and 15/10. This time, we can subtract 5 and 15/10 to 1 and 9/10. 5 minus 1 equals 4. 15 minus 9 equals 6. And then we copy the common denominator 10. 4 and 6/10 or 4 and 3/5. 4 and 6/10 is not yet in its simplified form because you can divide 6 and 10 by the common factor 2. 6 divided by 2 equals 3 and 10 divided by 2 equals 5. Therefore, 6 and 1/2 minus 1 and 9/10 equals 4 and 3/5.